Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Giselle with the Enchanted Tree Astrology, and I am here today to dive into this beautiful Taurus new moon with you. This new moon is like a breath of fresh air after the last month or two that we've been through. The eclipse season rocked us. The last Scorpio full moon rocked us. And the last week we had Pluto station retrograde. And whenever a planet stations, its energy is a lot more intense than what it typically is. And Pluto already is the most intense planet in the entire universe. So with it stationing, we are feeling the energies a lot more powerfully. It stations retrograde about a week before this new moon, and it stations retrograde in Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of revolution and of humanity and the collective and people grouping together, group minds, hive minds, fighting for what's right, fighting for liberty, fighting for freedom. This is a very Aquarius theme, and we are seeing this in headlines. We are seeing this at universities all over the country and other countries as well. We are seeing this happen. And of course, it's the most powerful when Pluto stations. Pluto already moves very slowly. So the fact that it's been stationing or that it has stationed retrograde, it stationed for a while. So there was a nice chunk of time where we were seeing this unfold and get a little bit more intense. During this time, while Pluto stationed retrograde, we had Venus in a square. So on a personal level, a lot of us may have been feeling a little bit of a rockiness or even just like a transformative power within our relationships and around money and around our creativity. So the last week has been intense. The week before was intense with the Pluto T-squaring our Scorpio full moon. And of course, the month prior to that with eclipse season, it's just been heavy. It's been heavy. And I am here and very, very, very happy to tell you that this new moon looks so bright and so grounded and so beautiful. I'm so happy that we are in this like space of light because we all need it. The only thing that's heavy, so to speak, in this chart is Mercury conjunct Chiron. However, Mercury is in its post shadow. This is the last final conjunction with Chiron. So it's not something new. It's something that we've been working through. And this is like the final hurrah of it. I feel like this new moon, if there's a new moon to set a powerful manifestation that you want to see come to fruition in the physical form, this is it. Like, this is so beautiful. We have the sun and the moon here together at 18 degrees of Taurus. And we have 5 planets in Taurus, and they're all like, we've got Jupiter leading the pack, and we have Venus trailing, and Venus is just so happy because she's in her home sign. Jupiter and Uranus are separating from their conjunction. However, a few degrees apart is still conjunct. So very powerful. Jupiter is expanding. Uranus is the change maker. It's the one that shakes things up and helps us find a new normal or a new form of something that we are experiencing, a new way of living. It's evolutionary in its nature. The sun is our conscious mind. The moon is our unconscious mind. I also like to think of the sun being our spirit, so what moves up and out, and the moon being our soul, what we are on our deepest, deepest level, what we enter the world with. And then, of course, Venus. Venus is money, relationships, our self-worth, creativity, all of the things that host and hold beauty, the things that we find beautiful, that we find luxurious, that we enjoy, especially when it's in Taurus. It's what we enjoy with our 5 senses. For the most part, when Venus is in Taurus, it's focused on me and what I love, what I like, what makes me feel good, what makes me feel like I'm worth $1 million. This is a very Venus and Taurus energy. So with these 5 planets in Taurus, we have a very strong and potent Taurus new moon. What's lovely about this Taurus new moon as well is that Saturn, the planet of delayed gratification and reality, is in sextile. It's in a supportive aspect. Saturn can also be limitations and restrictions and holding back and pumping the brakes and whatnot. However, Because it's in the sign of Pisces, which is the sign of everything that is outside of our physical realm. This is like the otherworldly space, the space that houses spirit and that houses our dreams and the things that we can't quite touch, feel. Pisces is sort of releasing these limitations and these restrictions. It's saying, take it easy, like let's soften up, let's relax. While Saturn also in Pisces is saying, let's be a little bit more grounded. Let's bring whatever these dreams and these fantasies are onto the earthly plane. It just takes time with Saturn. And of course, manifestations in Taurus also take time because Taurus likes to move slow and steady. But with them in a sextile, any intention that you set at this time, anything that you really focus on and you put your mind to and you begin to feel within your body, like you really get into the manifestation state of it, it's going to have a really powerful outcome. It's going to be slow to manifest. Taurus is all about building slowly, putting brick by brick to build your house, one brick at a time, one layer at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time. Saturn is the planet of commitment. So if you set an intention, commit to it. Decide that this is what I'm going to work towards because this is what I'm worth. I am worth this. We also have the North Node ruler getting ready to conjunct the North Node, which is very powerful. It's impulsive, it's bold, it's courageous. It's making our actions more motivated. It's making us feel more driven to seek out what we want, what we desire, and to step into new territory. It's making us a little more courageous to feel into an adventure, to get into that adventurous mindset, which is really helpful during this time as well. And we have Mars in sextile with Pluto, which is, transformative action. It's the actions that we choose to take right now are going to help transform us and push us into this higher evolutionary state. Now, with all that being said, you need to do something about it. With all of these sextiles between our new moon and Saturn, and we have Mars with Pluto, sextiles only manifest if you take action. You need to do something. You need to take this opportunity. It's an opportunistic time. You need to take the opportunity in order to receive or in order to see something manifest. If you sit back and do nothing, nothing will come of it. You need to take the steps. One more thing I want to say with our new moon. New moons are new beginnings, they're fresh slates. They are powerful times of setting an intention and planting a seed, especially in Taurus. I feel like Taurus is all about planting that seed and nurturing it, tending to it every single day so that your seed grows. In order to create space for something new, we need to be okay with letting go of something that is occupying that space within us. Sometimes you can't have both and. And I feel like in this case, this is something that is got so much new energy tied to it that if you are still gripping onto the past, you're still holding with that, tenacious attitude, like, I don't want to let it go, but you want something new, you're not going to get what you want. You can't have both and. Weed your garden, then plant your seeds. Tend to your garden, and you continue to weed out the weeds because weeds will stop you from growing what you're intending to grow. And that's what the whole idea of nurturing something to fruition is about. You need to tend to it. You need to pay attention to it. You need to remove what's blocking you from achieving that, or what could potentially block you from achieving that. Whether it's a thought pattern that keeps coming up, whether it's a behavior that keeps coming out of you, whether it's the way that you're speaking about, your manifestation, or about people, or about, what you have or what you want. You need to remove and weed out your blockages. What's going to restrict you? What's going to hold you back? If it is that you are holding on to a mindset that blocks you, or a trauma that's holding you back, or a disbelief in who you are. You're not believing in yourself that you can be this person, or you can do this thing, or you can receive this bounty, or whatever it is. You need to let that go. And that is a part of this Chiron conjunction with Mercury. Because the new moon is in Taurus and Taurus rules the body, I highly recommend looking into somatic healing. You can do somatic healing. You can even look into EFT, which is tapping, and that would be really helpful too. There are tons of videos on YouTube with somatic healing practices, with tapping. I mean, you're not losing anything by trying these, but you have the potential to gain so much, releasing, making space for, uplifting your energy, uplifting your frequency just by trying out something new. So that's my recommendation to you. You can take it, you could leave it, that's totally up to you. But I think that this is such a amazingly beautiful new moon, and I'm super excited for it. It's happening on May 7th here in Washington, D.C. So adjust for your time zone as needed. Anyways, I hope that was helpful. I wish you all a beautiful new moon and happy manifesting. Take care.